a Windows 8 Forums video production. Visit us at windows8forums.com.
Hello, this is Mike from windows8forums.com. In this video, I'm going to review Microsoft Office 2013. In this case, this is the Professional Plus edition, which is normally only available to Microsoft TechNet subscribers, MSDN subscribers, as well as volume license key holders. Normally, Microsoft Office 2013 Professional costs around $399 US. Included with this package is Access 2013. You also have Excel 2013. You have InfoPath Designer 2013, InfoPath Filler 2013, Lync 2013, OneNote 2013, Outlook 2013, PowerPoint 2013, and of course Publisher 2013. There are also several additional apps, including SkyDrive Pro and Word 2013, of course. Now, the one that everyone will know about right away is Word 2013. You'll see some major differences here when you open up Word, and included with this package is some licensing for Office 365. This is the online version of Microsoft Office, and we'll go into that a little bit later. But there are some of the new features here. We'll just open up a tour of Word. Let's do that now. Alright, so we have some information here. I'm going to explain what is different in 2013 compared to 2010 and perhaps 2007 as well. Well, you have this new ribbon look, and it's sort of an advancement on the original, but you'll see some additional options. You can obviously include certain applications, online videos, and we're back to this point where you have even more newer looking designs, fonts, colors, etc. for word processing, line numbers, hyphenation. All of that stuff existed in previous versions, but it's sort of easier, and they've replaced track changes to make it a lot easier to use. So if I wanted to track changes with someone and edit a document, I could actually do it in some cases live, depending on if there was a SkyDrive connection and so forth. Now, there are these new graphical options in Word, but there's also new online picture support with content from Office.com, Bing.com, and Flickr. There is support for Skype and Yammer. There is support for Outlook.com and Hotmail.com and Outlook. And Excel 2013 supports some new limit models. There's, of course, a flatter looking ribbon in all of this. But what's really interesting is that Office 2013 includes support for the international standard version of Office OpenXML, which it did not necessarily fully support technically in Office 2007. There is also support for PDF, which is of course ISO 32000. And so when I say there's support for PDF, you can actually open up PDFs within Microsoft Word. And I'll give you an example here. This is just some sort of instructional documentation here. Now, if you read what it says, Word will now convert your PDF into an editable Word document. The resulting Word document will be optimized to allow you to edit the text, so it might not look exactly like the original PDF, especially if the original file contains lots of graphics. Okay, whatever. So it's going to do that now, and we're going to open this file. And this is actually a PDF, which is portable document format. And in prior situations, you would not be able to edit this document whatsoever within a Microsoft Word product. But as you can see, I I'm able to simply, backspace and add stuff and whatever. I can even add images, I can delete them, I can move them, I can cut them, I can paste them. And this is actually a PDF, which normally you would use Adobe Acrobat to edit. So there is full support for PDF. As these file formats become more open, applications like Office are able to take advantage of that and allow you to create your own PDFs as well as edit them. So, for example, here I can add an artistic effect to this, even though it doesn't make any sense. But this is possible, and you can obviously save this as a PDF as well. And I used to be able to save PDFs in Office 2010, but you could never edit them before. So this is something that is completely new, and it's a new feature within Word. So Word has seen some great new support, and definitely some online support with the inserting of online pictures, screenshots, and all sorts of stuff like that you wouldn't necessarily have seen in 2007. You also notice that the data here is like constantly available to you. You have editing time of 2 minutes. If you go to the account area, you'll see that you can change the Office background in general for the entire Office suite, but we're also linked up similarly with Windows 8 in general. We're linked up to a general account, and from that account we have connected services like Facebook, Flickr, LinkedIn, SkyDrive, Twitter, YouTube, etc. And Office does take advantage of these connected services to a great degree, because obviously if you have a Flickr account linked, when you go to add an online picture, you're going to see that there. And you also have, of course, some great default templates. If you can't find the one you're looking for, there's even more of them online. So with today's unemployment situation, you might want to look up thousands of different types of resumes and cover letters. You can find them here. There's an enormous amount of them as templates, and this is just one of them as an example. This one doesn't look too good to me, but you can go ahead and you can edit this stuff out and change it to your heart's content. So I would say that Word actually is a lot better in this version than it used to be. It actually really brings it up to another level. Is it worth the price of an enormous upgrade? Well, that depends on if you want to use other parts of the Office suite that are included with Professional. And in this case, of course, we're using Professional Plus, just to illustrate the fact that there are additional options available to you. Now, there are some things that were removed completely from Office, between Office 2010 and Office 2013. Some people may not want to hear this, but it is the case. The Microsoft Office Picture Manager is gone. That's obviously truncated by the Windows Photo Manager that's already included in Windows 8. Office 2007 and Office 2010 chart cycles are gone. Those were like a sort of comparison software. That is gone because we're no longer dealing with those two apps. The ability to insert a 3D cone, pyramid, or a cylinder chart in something like Excel no longer exists. The Microsoft Clip Organizer is gone. And these are some problems here for that. Now, we're not using the Windows Office the Office RT version. The Office RT version is being shipped currently on tablets that do not run the full version of Windows 8. They actually run the RT version of Windows 8 in general. Now, if I go into the file formats, they're basically the same. You have a user interface that's much more tablet-oriented. As you can see, as soon as you open up Excel, you have tiles. You don't have, and you have ones that you can pin to lists. You can imagine if this was a touch screen. what you would do here. Here's a balance sheet. Someone in the United States government might want to use this one in Excel. And you are able to actually create something that really looks professional here. But of course, it's based on formulas. And as you can see, it's the sum of D14 and D17. If you really get into it here, you know, we can make some changes. Let's make that, instead of 45,000, let's make it 60,000. And we'll change our prepaid expenses to, oh, I'm sorry, I made it 6,000. We'll change our prepaid expenses. Let's give that like a negative number. See what happens here. So there you go. It automatically calculates that for you. And there's your current assets, your current liabilities. You'll be able to print this out for your business manager, and you look pretty cool. Maybe not necessarily because everyone will be using this one, but if you change it around a lot, it'll look professional. So let's also check out what other things we have. We have quarterly sales reports. These are all, of course, things that you could create on your own. You know, weight loss tracker, you know, vacation item checklist. I think I saw an emergency plan somewhere. You know, this is something like you'd want to have on your refrigerator, you know, in the event of an emergency. I don't know why you'd create this in Excel, but there's probably a good reason, probably because of the dates and phone numbers and so forth. And of course, this isn't only an example, but you can see how the graphic nature has been improved here. And there's sort of this overlying graphic design, but underneath you still have the formulas included. And you know, you can obviously insert functions there. So Excel will actually watch your actions. It'll recognize patterns, and it'll auto-complete data for you. This is called flash fill. It also recommends suitable charts and pivot tables, so you can select the best ones. Users can share workbooks by attaching them to an instant message. Let's go over to PowerPoint and really dig in here. Now, PowerPoint has always been pretty reliable when you want to give a presentation. We don't know anyone that gives a presentation with a projector or, you know, some sort of computer without using PowerPoint in a professional setting. So here's like one called Slice. This is sort of like a Windows 8 looking sort of modern thing going on here. I mean, you can very easily add a title, subtitle. We right click and create additional slides, additional sections, so on and so forth. Blah, 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 blah. We, of course, now can add tables from, of course, Excel. We can insert charts. We can insert smart art graphics, video, of course, from online now. Actually, you could put a YouTube video on there if you wanted. And you can go to pictures and you can do that whole thing. Now, of course, if you hit F12, you're going into full screen mode. You have the whole slideshow. You can record. And it's really, I would say, a step up from 2010. Does it justify an upgrade? I said this with 2010 versus 2007. Does it justify an upgrade? But that's something that you really need to decide, especially if you're a business owner or a business manager, or if you're someone that uses this for some sort of commercial purpose within your home, or for some sort of recreational or educational use within your home. You really need to decide, do I want to buy all this stuff, or do I only want to buy certain aspects of the Office suite? Let's go ahead and check out Lync Manager and I'm sorry, InfoPath Designer 2013. Obviously, many people have absolutely no idea what InfoPath Designer is. As soon as you open the thing, it wants to associate itself as the default file for editing XML files. I don't recommend this. I currently use Adobe Dreamweaver. to edit XML files, but some people who do not normally know what XML files are or how to edit them may want to use this program as the default. Now, of course, you can deal with SharePoint lists here, which are usually used from online sources, SharePoint servers. You also have database connections, and I'll show you an example of a SharePoint list. Now, you would need a SharePoint, to build an InfoPath, you would need a SharePoint list from a SharePoint site, and that's the only problem with this, and that is why this is sort of geared towards enterprise. So, if we go around, let's go to a blank 2010 form for InfoPath, and you'll see what you're dealing with here. Now, what is the difference between InfoPath and these other programs? Well, you're dealing with data from sources like SharePoint and, for example, SQL, which is structured query language databases. And you can edit this in concert with others. So, you know, you're not doing this stuff alone. You also have the ability to quickly add columns and, of course, sort of table-like interface, much like Microsoft Access, but quite different when you're dealing with SharePoint. This is sort of the correct way to create a form that is fillable if you do not have Adobe Acrobat. That is pretty much what this is. So, not many people may find themselves using this, but in environments that strictly use Microsoft Office, which are not uncommon, this is something that would not be surprising to be seen. And of course, we go ahead and we're looking for forms here. We don't have any InfoPath forms, but if we did, this program would actually be useful. Again, this is geared for a more enterprise environment for InfoPath, so we don't see it often. Now, you also have Lync 2013. Now, what does Lync do? Lync is the way that you can set up meetings online. And this is actually very interesting if you're into web conferencing and so forth. Excuse that noise behind me. I'm going to try to create a sign-in address here. Let's see what happens. We get into the links. Let's see what the options are here. Servers temporarily available. Like some information on this for servers. Yeah, go ahead. I haven't actually used this myself, but I suspect I actually have been in Lync meetings before. But as far as hosting one or using this, I believe that you do need the Lync server. This is I believe this is like the client component to the actual thing, but I could be wrong here. Let me just check to make sure. I'm actually upset that I can't get this working for some reason. And please don't email this address, thank you. I don't know what server it's contacting. Obviously, it may be trying to contact a Lync server on the network. And if that's the case, that would not be helpful. But this is sort of an internal instant messaging system plus meeting system. Lync Meeting Manager is something that is used internally at Microsoft. And oftentimes you are invited to Lync meetings that are popped into your calendar in Outlook, and this would be extremely helpful to have this on your system under those circumstances, especially in some sort of enterprise environment where you have a server administrator using the Lync server to create those conditions. Of course, this is why this is the Professional Plus edition. Not everyone is going to use this stuff, including me. I just opened it and I'm like, I can't even use it. Here's Publisher 2013. Now, Publisher has never been really known as like the greatest program for creating, sort of event invitations or whatever you want to call it, flyers. But in this instant, it's not that bad. The quality has improved dramatically. And I think you'll see that when we open up, let's see if we can open up a good template. Obviously, you have 8.5 by 11, you have 11 by 8.5, and, you know, different sizes here. You can even create custom sizes. Let's go to a photo calendar, or certificate of appreciation. How about that? All right, we'll download the certificate of appreciation, and we can say that whoever this person is, this is obviously a fictitious name, by the way, has been recognized for outstanding achievement in what? But you could create photo quality certificates of achievement at your business, within a teaching or learning environment, and you could make it look pretty good. There's obviously things that you can change in the design. I don't know to what extent you can change this custom default template here, but I suspect there is a way to go about changing much of it. Obviously, you can change these things here, but the outside border area may require some extensive work in changing stuff around. But if we go back to the ribbon once again, and of course the ribbon has become the central point for like everything, you see that like there's advertisements. So, you know, if I was like a used car salesman here, I'd give out a certificate of achievement, and I'd go ahead and add an advertisement like, you know, free offer, come buy a car too, you know. You get a certificate of achievement if you buy my car. I'm going to send you a fake check in the mail that you can't cash. This happens in the United States. I don't know about our international viewers, but you get weird stuff like that occasionally. Now, you have some business information that you're going to want to edit when you use Publisher to avoid this anonymity and to fill out forms automatically. And you have a design checker, and you'll see this more and more to make sure, like, for example, your Excel spreadsheets aren't messed up. They'll actually print out properly, and there's, the formulas aren't damaged in some way. And you'll see it even in Publisher where you want things to be in margin. You don't want them to print out incorrectly. You have embedded fonts within the application. And so, in general, Publisher has always been Publisher, but it's gotten a little bit better. You can change this. You have these pre-custom made things. You can get clip art from online. And, instead of let's celebrate, you can say, let's party, And of course, you can go ahead and do that and change, And so these are good for mom and pop shops. Also for just like basic advertising, it doesn't hurt to use this program in conjunction with some photo paper. I think it's gotten a lot better than it used to be. And of course, the competition for this program is sort of like gone. You just don't see it anymore. So whereas years ago you had major programs that were designed for this purpose, you really just don't see them much anymore. So that's it for Publisher. That's as far as I'm going to go into it. I don't know how much more I could possibly explain about it. It's pretty clear and obvious what the program does. How it's changed from 2010 is that in general, it's just been improved. It's faster. The ribbon is easier to navigate. You've got more options here and there. The templates are a little bit better. Of course, you have that cost comparison, and that's something, home and business versions $219.99 USD, home and students $139.99 USD in general. So we're not talking cheap here. This stuff is pretty expensive for the purposes you want to use it for. Microsoft Access. This is an old one that I used to use all the time at work. We never used this version. but you can use it to create databases, and these databases can be internalized or they can be externalized. They can be accessed by one person, by multiple people. You can use SQL, you can add join queries, you can create all sorts of crazy sorts of applications. And you have web apps now that you can create, asset tracking. You can use it to track inventory. This is more of a database-driven solution here. So if you're not familiar with Microsoft Access, that's what this is. Let me show you, for example, the desktop contacts. And we'll create a database here. Create a contacts database to manage information about people that your team works with, such as customers or partners. So for example, if I worked at a high-profile company that wanted to create a database of a certain clientele, maybe there are a certain group of people that may have an interest in certain products or something. Well, now you have a way of adding contacts in a database form. You go down the whole thing, and it's really, you know, it's very similar to using, for example, PHP MyAdmin in MySQL in Linux. But you also have these design features that are customized here. So you can add contacts from Outlook. You add a new contact, you get a form. Now you see this as something that is it's already there, it's a template. But you can actually create entire applications using Access. You can create search engines using Access. I once spent a couple of weeks working on one for a company. And you can have them have these custom interfaces that you create. So this is something that for someone who has no knowledge of how databases work and so forth, it would require a learning curve, but then you have thousands of online templates. You have a desktop inventory menu. You know, if you want to create a schedule thing, you know, for project management, let's go to employee sheets and stuff like this, human resources. You've got stuff from other things coming up here. Here's Excel again. Here's an employee shift schedule. So someone in human resources is going to love this. You can track everybody. When they're sick, you can yell at them, all sorts of things. You know, I mean, this is what it is. So you have the templates are 100 times better so that you don't have to do as much work. And if that's why you're buying it, that's a good reason. As far as the actual software, it's faster. It is using less resources as far as I can tell. You have SkyDrive Pro, and of course SkyDrive is a way of hosting documents and files online. So it says which library do you want to sync. You'll find your documents under your favorites in Windows Explorer. And here's a little blurb I'd like to show you. They're saying Windows Explorer. Sorry, but in Windows 8, you changed the name of Windows Explorer to File Explorer. But I guess they forgot about that. Pretty much everyone did. But when you go to which library do you want to sync, now you can choose, say, you want to sync downloads or you want to sync a new library that you create. You can do that, and that'll be synced to SkyDrive. Of course, SkyDrive for extra storage is a paid service, and there are competitors. There's Google Drive, there's Dropbox, Dropbox being renowned as one of the best. There's also Box.net, which, you know, that one claims to give you unlimited bandwidth, or at least they used to, and then they knock you down. So, I don't know. I can't recommend that one just because I had problems with them. The CEO wanted to contact me one time when I was hosting a high-profile file, and he never actually met me for the contact after my account. All of a sudden, my unlimited bandwidth disappeared. But this is another, I'm going off topic here. You have a Lync recording manager to record sessions. You have a database comparison tool. You have a language preference center for Office. You have an upload center to easily upload Office documents to FTP servers and other things, as well as web servers. You have a spreadsheet comparison. You can compare versions of Excel workbooks. So say you have a really old Excel workbook You can go in here, just pop this thing in here, and make sure that it works with 2013 without error. There are complex Excel spreadsheets and Excel workbooks out there that are extraordinarily complex from accounting departments all over the world. You want to use this if you're upgrading. You definitely want to use this before you start using 2013 for your accounting work. Telemetry dashboard. This will analyze and monitor Office solutions in your organization by using a telemetry dashboard. So this is like if you have Office in an entire Office environment, a literal Office environment, you can actually monitor what's going on here with Office. Which programs are being used the most, when they're being used, sort of Big Brother type of software, kind of creepy. But you'd be surprised that this helps in project management, in office management, and it lets you know if people are actually working and stuff. So you have these extra tools, and Office in general has always come with those tools, but in this version it's sort of a bit, I wouldn't say streamlined, but it's more consistent. I really like the changes in Outlook, and that's something we haven't looked at. I wanted to save that for last, partly because all my emails are in there, and I don't want everyone reading them. And secondly, because the way you can link up accounts is just fantastic. So let's open up Outlook here, and this is, of course, the mail client, okay? This is for mail, okay? So what you'll see here is that I'm dealing with multiple accounts. I have a Hotmail account. I don't really care if you know my email address or not. Just don't spam my email address, please. So you have, for example, my Hotmail email address, okay? And then you have my IMAP Gmail address. And you just type this stuff in, and it detects the servers now. If you have a Outlook web access powered server that you're connecting to, it's super easy to get into that server simply by going and adding an account. And, so you would go to account settings, and account settings again, that's a little bit redundant. Maybe they should have changed that. And then you can go to new, just like in old versions of Office. And you can add email accounts or manually do it yourself. A little bit of a hassle there, but it'll pick up on it. And this is great software for creating emails. You can still flag high and low importance, follow-up documents. You can attach items, calendar events, business cards. Of course, you have signatures that you can configure. There's hundreds, thousands of options in this thing. You have a connection to OneNote, which we didn't go into, but OneNote allows you, it's sort of like an online notebook, okay? It lets you just keep notes methodically for business purposes mostly, and it just lets you go crazy, If we go into OneNote now, while we have Outlook open, I'll show you it real quick, and you'll see, I'm trying to be as detailed as possible here, but you can sync it to SkyDrive, share it with your Windows Phone, tablet, etc. And, you've got just this massive, unbelievable, automatically Mike's notebook is open. What's going to be in Mike's notebook? Well, first you have a tutorial, a 2-minute tutorial on how it's used. Secondly, I have a journal. I can put in whatever I want, okay? I just worked on so-and-so's project here, and I made these different things that I did. I can record audio and video, okay? I can draw, and if I had a stylus or a touch screen, this is where the touch screen compatibility comes in again, folks. If I had it, it would look a lot better than this, but this is what it is. I mean, you're just creating notes and sections and so on and so forth. And what can happen is you save this stuff and you can import it into an email. So Outlook has always been a pretty good product. It started becoming a bit worthless when everything went online. So when you got services like Gmail Live and Yahoo Mail, people are like, well, why do you need Outlook anymore? Well, this sort of reconnects back to those online services. It mostly leaves those emails on the server, but it's a good way of managing your mail and especially managing your calendar, especially if you're using the Microsoft suite of software. So if you're using Microsoft Calendar already, you're going to love using Outlook with it. It's just one example. Team emails. All of this stuff is connected into the Microsoft address book that you'd want to use, the Outlook address book. Due dates you can create. You can't really do this stuff with Gmail, even though Gmail is, I would say, a bit more accessible. You have reading panes and so forth, and of course you can access multiple accounts at the same time. So you're dealing with that kind of a situation. And I think that is where this really all shines. So, this is the latest Outlook. And of course, there's still the mailbox cleanup tools, empty deleted folders, archive things, and the social networking component. This allows you to keep your contact information up to date. And I'm going to do that now. And I'll tell you what this is going to do. This is going to go into Facebook and download and sync contacts from Facebook into Outlook 2013. So this is just an example how this works. So by default, show pictures and information from this network when available. Yes. Make haste. Wrong password. Figures. Sorry, this is all recorded live. Okay, it's connected. So now you have another starting point. And of course now you know my email address. And hopefully this won't create a problem. I'm doing this as a public service, people. So let's see here. LinkedIn is connected, and of course there's SharePoint. I don't have access to a SharePoint server, but if I did, guess what I could do? So you see there how useful this is. And let's see how that has changed our Outlook experience, if it has at all. All right, so you see that the live email is an Exchange Active Sync server, and the Gmail one, of course, is IMAP SMTP. And of course, we can add additional accounts pretty easily. Let's go back here, and you'll see that, this has been going on here, and let's finish that. Office is now connected to the following social networks: Facebook and LinkedIn. See what's going on. Updates for your friends and colleagues now appear in Office. You control which of your updates other people see. Log in to each social network, change your privacy settings. So, I suppose if someone from Facebook were to email me, I would be able to see their Facebook profile. Similarly, with new smartphones and stuff, if you have a lot of friends on Facebook or LinkedIn, you'll see their latest status updates when they call you. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the case. Let's go to the calendar down here. But most importantly, I think what you're going to see, and I'm not sure if you can link Google Calendars here. I would really love it if you could. There is a Lync meeting add-in for Office here too. That's really important because Lync meetings are actually pretty great and they're used a lot internally at certain organizations. I don't think there's a way to link to, for example, the default Google account calendar. I don't see that. I don't see any of my Google stuff listed here. But ironically, you can do so with the calendar app in Windows 8. You just can't do it with the Outlook app. So there's obviously a little discombobulation here as far as I can tell, unless I just haven't found that feature yet. Mindful that there are thousands of features in this software suite. It costs a lot of money for a pretty good reason. So, but right now I'm not feeling it. I don't think that there's a way that you can connect calendars the way I was hoping that you could. And going into options here, I don't really see that capability either. This looks more like a private calendar for Outlook itself. Although this disconnected button is here, kind of ominous. Disconnected from what? Mail server. Anyway, if you go to people here, and obviously I think that calendar will connect to your live calendar. I certainly hope so. I don't want to release everyone's personal information here, but here's some contacts I have from LinkedIn. And I have pictures of all of my colleagues here that I've had associations with. And they're just popping right up because I just did that thing before where I connected LinkedIn to the situation. Facebook is also involved. If someone from Facebook emails me, it is very likely that they will go ahead and appear on here. Of course, you have Drew, who is a information technology guru here. He has his LinkedIn account, and you can use this to find these people. A lot of these people I've worked with many times years ago. In some cases, I still have communication with them. My good friend Ingy, who went to go work for the Library of Congress, is now still somewhere in Maryland. I do not know what is going on with her, but good to see her face on here. So you see that there is, without violating anyone's privacy, you have these options available to you in Outlook. And I wanted to spend a lot of time in Outlook to show you just exactly how complex it has become. Complex in sort of an easy way of managing things. So if you want an all-in-one solution, and usually that's something that you would do at business, within a business, that's what Outlook is for. You're not, if you're someone at home, you can get away with just using Gmail. But if you're at a business, you might want to buy the whole Google line of products with the whole mail calendar, group mail, group calendar. Similarly, Office is offering the same thing here. You schedule meetings, you set up spreadsheets, you do accounting work, the list goes on and on. But ultimately, this is Office 2013. If I can give you some additional information that'll help you to make a decision here, you're going to want to know that what the actual system requirements are, I believe. And I'm just referencing some materials here. You're going to need at least 1 gigabyte of memory and a modern processor. And I'm going to show you that you have Office 365 subscription with commercial use rights. So what we're going to do here is go to office365.com. I'm going to show you how this works. Now, what is Office 365 and how does this tie into all the stuff we just reviewed? Okay, Office 365 is the online version of all of this stuff. So I'm going to sign in right now. And of course, nothing is free when it's software as a service. Now, software as a service is not a new concept. It's similar to the way terminal servers used to work. So I'm going to show you exactly what's going on here. I'm having some sort of error just connecting. It's giving me a headache here. Go to office365.com again. Software as a service is sort of like the Windows Blue idea, where you would be paying for Windows updates, like real major Windows updates, instead of buying new copies of Windows every couple of years, new versions of Windows. You would actually just pay for feature updates, incremental feature updates perhaps. Now, if you go to like small business plans and pricing for Office 365, for some reason it won't let me log in. I don't know why. You have a free trial here as well. you'll see that you can work with the same applications, except it's like an online version of it, okay? So you get like 25 gigabytes of storage space for Exchange Online, email, calendar, web conferencing. I think that's where, of course, Lync comes in. And you do have like sort of almost like bank level security. They're not going to say it's bank level here, but knowing Microsoft, it probably is. I mean, it has to be. The way that companies store information with Microsoft Office is too important for them not to be using a major encryption. I'm surprised, though, that I'm having difficulty signing in at all. And that's quite odd. Let's see. You don't have permission to access this page. Why? I have a legitimate copy of Office here. It's activated. It's odd, ladies and gentlemen. We may have to do a separate Office 365 video, actually. It looks like the website might be having some problems here. Either that or there's something wrong with my setup here. But let's see about the free trial. Is that even possible? Right, so you have hosted email for $4 a month. Okay, nobody buys email. All right, but you have 50,000 users. So if you have a company with 50,000 employees, 4,000, you could use Excel for this. 50,000 times $4, you know, not exactly the cheapest possible situation. But with the idea of Office 365 is to have, like, you know, a small business with either 50 people or a large business with 50,000 employees all using Office at the same time, collaborating in some big brain trust. And it's a generous and decent idea. Maybe not generous, but it's certainly there. You know, if you want to use online services, they usually start costing a lot of money. And that's where you're having this issue here. But I'm at a confused point as to why I cannot sign into the Office 365 website. I just have no idea what this error code means. And now we would get back to the Windows8forums.com technical support section to try to find out what that weird error code means and why it won't let me use the site. Nothing comes up, of course, on Google. So nobody's seen this thing before except for me. Great. So we'll do a separate Office 365 video, perhaps when it's a little bit more ready for action, so to speak. But in general, you'd be paying a monthly subscription to use these services. And you'd be doing it for collaboration reasons or because you don't have access directly to get onto the things that you need. If you go to the service description area, you can download all the documents here. It explains exactly what everything does, etc., so on and so forth. But for most part, this is for enterprise environments. Really, I can't see small businesses using it yet. But then again, I haven't been able to even sign in. So, thanks for watching this review of Office 2013. It has been long-winded. Many of our videos have been in the past. But this is Microsoft Office. This is $500 software suite. And if you don't take it a little bit seriously and start going through the features, you know, that's not much of a review, is it? So I'd like to thank you for your patience. I'd also like to show you that although I'm using Start 8 here, yes, you can access these applications directly from this area here. So, you know, if I want to go into Publisher, Metro, same thing. It goes back to the desktop. That's why I'm a little confused by the Metro UI. I haven't been sold on this modern Metro UI just yet. But yeah, thanks for watching this video. This is Mike Farah from Windows8forums.com. Take care and have a good one.